Jasmine.
Hello, my name is Jasmine McLean, and I am a long-term resident of Kimberley. I've lived here since I was 7, so that puts me over 23 years in Kimberley, still not a local. I am no stranger to the boom and bust of Kimberley. I have seen the Plattsville transform over the years. It was not so long ago that our beloved downtown, sorry, I hate public speaking. Look at what you made me do. A lot has already been said tonight. I would just like to bring up my concern about the proposed development in Marysville. Mayor McCormick, your statements keeps families needing family-priced food services from traveling to Cranbrook, as well as future-proof in regard to the proposed investment of a McDonald's car wash and gas station. Sorry, I really hate public speaking. The statement is not only problematic, but it also exposes your own privilege and short-sightedness. McDonald's, one of the largest fast food chains in the world, has been subject to numerous criticisms regarding its impact on the environment and health effects on people, especially those in lower socioeconomic groups. When your citizens cannot afford groceries, let them eat McDonald's. While your view of the future may be limited to your next election term, our future is in jeopardy due to the increasing extreme climate conditions we are already being affected by. We must look way beyond our own lifetimes when considering investments. We want to consider what kind of legacy we want to leave for future generations. Do we want to be known for contributing to the loss of what makes Kimberley unique and contribute to the continued environmental crisis, or for our own innovative spirit in investing in true future-proof ideas and shaping the future of our community? The choice is ours, and the time to act is now. Let us prioritize sustainability and work towards a brighter future for all.
Thank you, Jasmine. Deb Hunter. Go ahead, Justin.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and Council. Thank you for having me this evening to speak, and thank you for everyone for showing up this evening. So I am a professional planner by trade, and I did have a lot of notes written down that I was going to speak to tonight, but as many of the other folks here have spoken to, they've hit the nail on the head, and I think that the trajectory is what I'm going to focus on, the trajectory of the city. We have done a lot of work, and the city of Kimberley has done a lot of work to ferment a trajectory that does put sustainability at the core of our value system. With looking at gas stations and drive-thrus, that throws that into question. Currently, we are in a climate crisis. Make no question, we are in a climate crisis, and we need to be doing everything as a community to address this concern. Allowing for drive-thrus and gas stations that only promote the use of cars and fossil fuel burning cars specifically is a danger to our community and our world moving forward. We need to consider this. We need to consider this moving forward, and I would encourage the Mayor and Council to go back to some of the original recommendations from staff to take a look at those two dynamics, gas stations and drive-thrus. Many communities throughout North America and the world are working to ban these moving forward. The Government of Canada, the Federal Government of Canada, has put a mandate to end the sale of fossil fuel burning vehicles by 2035, as has the government of British Columbia. This gas station has a lifespan of 10 years. It won't even be built and in the ground for at least another 2 or 3 years, shortening that even further. What are we doing here? What is the purpose of allowing a gas station to go in where it's not even going to have a lifespan worthwhile and is still going to promote the continued use of fossil fuel burning vehicles? The community has done a wonderful job in embracing active transportation, in embracing electric vehicles, and more so embracing electric bicycles. I'm now working in Cranbrook, and I see on a daily, and have colleagues on a daily, who cycle into Cranbrook using electric bicycles. We should be focusing our efforts on increasing those facilities rather than increasing the facilities for cars. They're damaging, they are incredibly resource expensive to create and maintain, and they do not reflect the values of sustainability that, to me, brought me to this city as a home, and I've enjoyed living in since. So thank you, and I hope to take these considerations into account.
Thank you, Justin. Carl Walker. Go ahead, Deb.
Okay. Thank you. Hello, the mayor and each councillor and our extras. My name is Deb Hunter, and I live at 106 Kimberley. My concern is how the rezoning, sorry, I'm not,
Take your time.
okay. My concern is how rezoning any industrial property in Kimberley area to commercial will change the social fabric, as we were named the best little town twice. The entrepreneurs who operate a business here only survive on a shoestring, relying heavily on local communities. The local community. All the existing big franchised commercial businesses are within 15-minute drive for those who choose. The commercial spaces on the north side of the highway in downtown Marysville are vacant. Potential increase in environmental issues such as traffic noise and contamination, to name a few. This is a wildlife corridor and a high impact area, as I know a deer hit me. Anyways, how will the rezoning affect this? My daughters moved here about 20 years ago because of the small town feel and the ski hill, of course. They love it so much that they invited me here to retire. So I did. Took everything and came here. I've been here for 6 years. How will commercializing Kimberley change the social fabric of the small businesses community? Will we be still the best little town? And I come from Ottawa. I was transit worker for 27 years. I've had the big feel of all those commercials, spent lots of time in McDonald's and all that, and I came here for this little town, the charm that it has, and whatever ends up happening, that, okay, anyways, thank you. No, just like
Thank you. Thank you very much, Deb. Julie St. Jean. Go ahead, Carl.
Hello, yeah, my name's Carl Walker. I might be the only one here that I came here for it, but I'm against it now. Because it's, after hearing a lot of people talk, it brought me back to Brandon, Manitoba, where I grew up. The McDonald's, they had one McDonald's there, then they put another one up on the highway. And if you go back to Brandon now, the first McDonald's is gone. The mall that was by there is destitute. The downtown, they spent millions and millions of dollars to revitalize it. They turned it into almost like a mall in itself that is now destitute. Everything is moving towards the strip area, the highway, the easiest to go to. So if you're going to consider this, you better consider the Platzel right at the same time. This is not an isolated area. It's going to affect the Platzel, if not this generation, next generation. And just so you know, my first job was at McDonald's. And on a resume, believe it or not, it looks very good because I was there for 2 years, and they feel if you can work 2 years at McDonald's, you can work, you're a good employee. Yeah, and my daughter, I mean, she's had to go to Cranbrook to get a job. She's just graduated from high school. There is shortage of work for high school students. But it will come with a cost for the community. And this town would have to be 4 times the size, and you'd have to be ready for that, for McDonald's to actually make an impact. Thanks.
Thank you, Carl. Ashley Olson. Go ahead, Julie.
Hi, thanks for letting me speak. I have to say I have spent 2 sleepless nights researching, reading the financial plans, reading the all of the website information, lots of talking to myself on the drive to Cranbrook, wondering what I was going to say. Everything here has been said. I am against the rezoning. It is about rezoning because that sets the stage for future development. I trust the numbers. The numbers do not lie. I would like to see an economic impact assessment done before we make such an important decision. I too moved here because it was a great place to raise a family, by the way, 17 years ago. And I wear many hats in this community as a volunteer, as a business owner. I've started 2 businesses, I own 1 business, I work in Cranbrook. My kids are the most important thing to me, and the one thing that I would like to really emphasize is that it is no coincidence that McDonald's is trying to open up near our recreation sites, the arena, the soccer fields, the daycare that's being proposed, the schools. I am so against the fact that they are targeting our children. That is what these franchises do. I do not want a McDonald's logo on my kids' jerseys. I will refuse to do that. And that is what I've heard from other people in Invermere or other communities when I've asked them, well, what is the impact of McDonald's on your community? Has everyone accepted it? Is it going well? And they've said, yeah, they're a good corporate sponsor. Okay, that doesn't work for me. So I want to know, over all these years, all I keep hearing is, oh, how we need to attract light industry. So what is it that has made the change now that we're willing to take that light industry zoned land and make it commercial when we have vacant, empty commercial space available here? I do not see the need. I believe we are selling our community values. I own a parking lot, which I actually cannot stand owning that parking lot, by the way, if anyone would like to buy it. But I have refused. I've been asked by a few people if they could buy my property. But I have integrity. I will never sell to a developer because that is not the vision I have for Kimberley, even though I've only been here 17 years. So I don't want you to sell out just for a quick cash grab. Please do not do that. Kimberley has sustained themselves through wildfires, arson, pandemics. We are resilient, so don't give up on Kimberley yet.
Thank you, Julie. Mike Dutoit. Go ahead, Ashley.
Wow, this is awesome. Yeah, almost 9:30 on a Tuesday, and all these people showing up. So thank you, councillors and mayor, for putting this on. It's great. I love this town. As you can tell, you probably tell I was not born here. However, my wife was, and so I fell in love and moved here, and I love this town. It's awesome. My background, I'm an industrial designer. My parents had a ranch. I helped my dad invent a fence post. We grew a company, a multi-$100 company out of it that now operates in 3 continents. We have hundreds of products and employ 300 people. So I'm passionate about innovation and design and building things, and have seen like that, how something can grow and develop, but it takes time and it's difficult. Here in Kimberley, I'm looking to invest. I have some money, not as much as a corporate McDonald's, but I just wanted to share my experience in looking for land or any kind of building where I can, light industrial, to set up a shop with some CNC equipment so I can get the 3D printer out of my basement. But in doing that, I've been working with the realtor. I've called into the council meetings. I've talked to councillors. I've talked to the mayor. I've talked to the city planning department. I've talked to Kimberley Business Development. I've been down to the zone. I've talked to knocked on doors, talked to buildings there. I still can't find anywhere to set up. So this is, if anyone has a garage they want to rent me, in the time being, I'm serious, I would love that. And I think it's probably people don't realize like how difficult just finding space to set up is. I'm here, I love this town, I want to set something up here. It's difficult. And my concern is that if you take these storage units away, I'm not a betting man, but I reckon if you've got the industrial zone there with no power and no water, somebody who already owns the land there is going to say, hey, I can put up these units that don't need power and water, don't need employees, and use that land. So that's my fear, is like reducing the supply of industrial land, raising the price, making it harder for people like me who want to develop a business here to do so. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashley. Mike, is Mike Dutois in the house? Sue Ann Banks and Callum Ross after Sue Ann. Callum Ross. Dan Moe would be next then. Go ahead, Sue Ann.
Thanks for having me have a chance to speak. I kind of have a different perspective on this. I advocate for healthy school food. So one of the biggest things that comes to my plate is that the targeting of this kind of marketing to kids, even though it's inadvertent, if something like a McDonald's is in such a close vicinity to something like an elementary school. I'm also a mother here. I've lived here for 17 years. I'm not a local, but my family does have legacy and community. Bert Banks is my cousin. He's been here for many years. He had a big focus on health and wellness and recreation. And yeah, I just think that rezoning and not giving opportunity to someone like who's just speaking, talking about their business, but putting something in like McDonald's. Sorry, I didn't realize I'd be so nervous to talk. I talk all day. And yeah, I just think it's really important that we need to think about our children. My values are based in thinking about 7 generations in front of us, and I live for that. I live for my daughter, and my nephew goes to Maryville Elementary, and I just think that it's really important. That's something that they'll be going by every day. They'll see that. Someone else mentioned, that they're supporting like sports and such, so it's that targeted marketing, even though it's inadvertent, it's something that's going to be in the eyes of our children, and they're who we need to think about because they're a future of Kimberley and Marysville and very important people in our world. And yeah, I also work within local food systems, and we just got a huge budget announcement to focus a little bit more on local procurement within our schools, and how will that also affect that constant thought of like, oh, there's a McDonald's. I mean, it's very attractive when you're young, colorful. I mean, that's something my days are full of. That's what aids in my creativity, is all of the color around me, but that's something that attracts children. So we just need to be mindful that this is also something that is very impactful on the kids, and they are our future. So, we live for them. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sue Ann. Dan. Take it away, Dan.
Yeah, good evening. I understand I'm probably one of the last to speak tonight.
You are the last tonight.
Okay, I just want to be sure that you make sure that everyone had a chance. Julie got her chance. She was number 29. I heard a 32. Just maybe.
Yep, we had 3 sheets and they weren't in order.
Roger. Okay, good to see you all. I'm born and raised. I welcome everybody here. I welcome more people here. I think we should be welcoming refugees. We should be welcoming, more and more people to our wonderful community. You may read my letter in full in the attached appendix to this meeting. I'd like to summarize kind of the main point here this evening. And I'd like for you to share with your friends that aren't here or who left early this fact, because I think it's quite striking, and I'll get into that. In 2013, some of you may remember that then Councillor Don McCormick pursued the idea of building a prison at the old airstrip in Tata Creek as an economic driver for this city and region. It's been 10 years, and I'd say we're doing pretty good without a prison. I raise this issue because then, as we're seeing now, I don't believe our mayor has the best interests of this community. While may be a savvy businessman, mayor and council are not running a business. They are guiding a community. They are the head of our democratic institution. They do have a responsibility for the safety of the children of this community, and they have the responsibility to guide our community in a sound and sustainable way. This proposal is not that. Listen to this democracy. If we were to actually use Facebook as a guide for the direction of our city, let's consider the questioning of one commenter and ask, can we impeach a mayor? And if you thought I was serious in referencing that proposition, I'm sorry you missed the point. It's kind of the punchline. I'm absolutely opposed to this whole idea, and I'm disappointed it's made it this far. That being said, I am impressed by the conversation this has created, and I encourage us to continue that visionary engagement with our community. And let's keep this our community. Let's be creative and innovative. Let's look after one another. Let's talk laundromat, food security, affordable housing, renewables, and climate resiliency. We can do so much better than this. There's lots of things going on to truly improve our city, and we're only just getting started, and there's still lots of work to do. I implore you to look out into your community, get on board with a volunteer organization, get moving in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. So as I mentioned, Dan is the last speaker this evening. What we will do now is we will adjourn. But before I call on a motion to adjourn, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, especially those that made comments. It's not easy to step up to a microphone and say what's on your mind. Thank you very much for doing that. I need a motion to adjourn to tomorrow evening. Councillor McBain, thank you. Councillor Royer seconds. Any opposed? That motion is carried. So we are adjourned to tomorrow night. Thank you.